Hello, my chicklets. Thank you for stopping by. Today we will be reading Bathed in Moonlight. This one does come with some content warnings, so please make sure to check those out in the description. The wind blew through the forest. What was once lush and green was now faded into the colors of autumn. Prince Roman sped through the forest, the sound of leaves crunching beneath the footfalls of his horse. He had recently learned of another prince, locked in a tower in the middle of the forest, taken captive by an evil dragon. The dragon stood with scales of ebony and amethyst, protecting its prey until the 100th moon had passed. Roman did not know how many moons had passed since the prince's capture, but he knew that if no one were to rescue this prince, his fate would lie in the stomach of a dragon. He rode faster until the tower came into sight. A large dragon curled around the tower, wings folded down, scales glittering against the sun. "Who dares approach my tower?" The voice was dark and menacing, echoing only inside the confines of Roman's mind. "My name is Roman, Prince of Sandaria, and I have come to challenge you for the hand of the prince." He dismounted from his horse, hand on his sword, but not drawing it yet. "And what makes you think the prince wants to be rescued by the likes of you?" Roman froze. He had not been expecting that kind of discussion. "I do not make assumptions on what the prince wants, other than knowing that a life in isolation is no life at all." "Interesting. Are you willing to take a life to save this prince?" The dragon's eyes narrowed, but he had not yet made a move. "If that is what it takes, what if it is the life of an innocent?" The dragon began to shift, slowly climbing down the tower, the sound of stones breaking under his huge claws. "How far are you willing to go to save a man you do not know?" "If he be in need, through hell and back." Roman's hand tightened on his sword. "Then, Princey, let's see how far that resolve will bring you." He unsheathed his sword as the dragon threw back flames at him. It happened in a blur. Roman raised his cape to protect himself from the flame, throwing himself back on his horse as he charged into battle. Yes, he was one prince against a dragon, but he was not naive. From his bags he threw crimson sand into the sky, causing the fire to fade into the air. The dragon let out a loud growl. "Many have come before you. Many have tried. You will fail like all the rest." "Even so, I will not give up so easily." With the dragon no longer able to breathe fire, Roman rode in. His sword glinted in the setting sun. Roman wanted this to be done before sundown. Even if he didn't know how many moons had passed, he would not allow another to rise on the imprisoned prince. He swung at the dragon, piercing through areas in his hard scales, making the dragon hiss in anger. The large beast attempted to stomp on the prince, but Roman was an expert rider. He weaved through the dragon's claws, stabbing his sword up and dragging it along as he escaped the crushing blow. The two continued, Roman gaining a few deep wounds but pushing past the pain. His time was running close, and with a final thrust of his sword he knew he had dealt a fatal blow. "I have defeated you, fair dragon. Now release the prince." The dragon let out a low chuckle. "As you wish." His breath was harsh and ragged as his body began to shift and fade under the light of the moon. Roman leaned against a tree as what was once a dragon shifted into the form of a man. He had dark brown hair, almost black hair, with purple streaks. He wore a black suit befitting of a prince, and a purple crown rested on his head. Each of the wounds Roman had inflicted on the dragon showed on this younger man's body. "Wait, what?" "My curse was sealed many moons ago, but you've provided me an escape, Princey." He choked on the blood that was filling one of his lungs, collapsing on the ground. No. Roman rushed over to the man. Despite the pain, despite the fatigue, he went to cradle the other prince in his arms. "There must be some way I can help. I didn't intend. Many moons ago, I became one with the dragon. There was no escape, just loneliness." He wheezed, coughing up blood as he rested in Roman's arms. "But it's over now." Roman whistled for his horse to come over. He always carried healing potions with him, Maybe he could save him. Spare your kindness. Our fight and your quips were enough. I had fun, Princey. Still, Roman struggled to get a healing potion, trying to get the prince in front of him to drink it. I will not stand idly by while someone is in need of help. But there was no movement from the other. His wheezing began to fade, as did the color in his already pale face. Though some of his wounds began to heal, Roman feared it might have been too late. He sat alone, curled up in the forest, bathed in the light of the moon, holding the prince he failed to save. Thank you all for listening. I know this one was a little bit sad. I do hope you still enjoyed it, and I hope you have a wonderful day.